Perfect. So we're going to set up a safe space. So to begin with, let's just take some rolls of the shoulders. I like to do a little bit of a physical release as well. Both directions, rolling forwards and backwards. And then just bring your hands out in front of your shoulders and just give them a shake.
It feels good.
Take it away. Yeah, it feels good. And then just up overhead. Shake it all out. When you feel like you've had a significant physical release, you can just place your hands wherever feels comfortable. Take a breath in and just bring your shoulders up to your ears. And then as you exhale, just let them drop. And just start sinking into our bodies now. Taking a deep breath in through the nose, filling up with air and with prana, and we're going to use a big exhale to release. Inhaling through the nose. Exhale, releasing any unnecessary emotions, worries, stresses, tensions. One more deep inhale. Exhale, releasing anything and everything that doesn't serve us in this moment. And bringing awareness to the center of our hearts. If we can, tuning into the pulse, the beating of our hearts, and just taking a moment of gratitude for our hearts, not only the physical heart, but the whole of the heart center, the center of us. I always think of the heart as the core of the being rather than the core, the physical core. And just breathing into the heart and feeling the energy expand. And from the center of our hearts, we're going to send up an energetic light cord all the way up through the throat chakra, third eye, crown, and then sending this cord up into the sky, up past the stars and beyond, shifting up through every single vibrational frequency until these cords of light from our hearts connect in to the highest vibrational frequency of divine love, of Source, God, the great mystery, creation. And then we're just going to travel our awareness back down, now that we've made that connection, all the way back down through the different vibrational frequencies, through the sky, down through our heads, throats, back into the heart. And just taking a moment to allow those high vibrational frequencies to fuse in with our own heart energy and just expand out into the rest of our bodies, allowing us to be clean, clear, vibrant beings. And now from the center of our hearts, we're going to send down a cord of light, of energy, down all the way through the navel, sacral, root chakras, out from the base of our spines, down, reaching into the earth, traveling all the way down through the many layers of the planet until we connect into the very center, the core of Mother Earth. Oh, I'm just feeling that nurturing, loving energy as we make that connection. And then following the cord all the way back up through the layers of the planet, through the layers of our physical body, and all the way back into our hearts, and allowing that unconditional love and nurturing from Mama Earth to also fuse with our own heart's energy. And now we're going to expand this energy outwards to about 2 meters around us, filling the space, so creating this 360-degree bubble of light energy around each of us, protecting not only our physical bodies but our auric fields, and just making sure that there's no gaps or cracks or spaces, creating these solid bubbles of protection. And setting the intention that only beings, energies, entities whom we give permission to and who have our greatest good, our love, our compassion, and our support can see us, can exist within us, and can access us at this time. And all other beings, energies, or entities must leave immediately. So we can invite in all of our guides, and we can just take a moment to name them to ourselves individually, inviting them in. Inviting in any kind, loving ancestors that we have, known and unknown. Inviting in source energy from above, Gaia from below. And inviting in every single version of us, past, present, future, parallel, to assist us in this specific healing that we're going to do today. The highest versions of ourselves, inviting in Archangel Michael to help with guidance and protection throughout this journey, and inviting in Archangel Raphael to assist with any healing or clearing or activating. And now through time and space, I'm also going to send out another beam of energy protecting this whole session through time and space, surrounding both of us, surrounding this session, so that even when we watch the recording, we are protected, and those who may or may not also witness the recording of this session. And again, setting the intention for this golden bubble that only beings, energies, or entities with our permission, with our highest good, love, and compassion can see us, access us, or exist within us. And all other beings, energies, or entities must leave immediately. And welcoming into the golden session bubble all of our guides, both of mine and Jon's, our highest selves, all versions of us, past, present, future, parallel, our ancestors, those who are kind and loving and here to support us, source from above, Gaia from below, Archangel Michael, Archangel Raphael, and any other guides, gods, goddesses, or deities that we may want to invite in to assist with this healing today. And setting the intention that this session today may be in service of Jon's highest good, as later on when we travel to a past life, so that he can integrate this healing that is of the most importance to him in this current timeline and this present moment, so that he can heal it and move forward. So we're just going to take one more deep breath in and exhale. And so it is.
So it is.
You can come back into the space whenever you're ready. I felt like there was lots of people with us then.
Yeah, there's a, it's like they separated out in a couple of groups. They're like Chloe's friends and John's friends, we're all friends.
We had a whole army of guides with us. I like to drink cacao when I do these sessions, so if you see me sipping, that's what I'm drinking. So I want to share something with you, and I was debating whether I should share it with you at the end of the session or at the beginning, but I'm being guided to share it now.
Okay.
Because we still may or may not travel to this when we go traveling. So this often happens to me when I get a client session booked in that's something very specific. I have a premonitions.
Mm-hmm.
So last night in my dream space, I saw you as a king on an empty battlefield. And it was this message of like this, the weight of the world on your shoulders as that real masculine king figure, you know, and of always having to do it right and feeling like you're having to hold everyone. But so many in this situation, there was death, there's destruction, you know, there was battles, and it was, you know, it was like literally was like standing there feeling like, what can I do more? But how could it all go so wrong?
Yeah.
And it was, yeah, there was some healing to be done there. I don't know if that resonates with you at all.
It does. It's a pattern, whether I've been a king or not, or just part, often part like helping lead an army.
Mhm.
Um, but it seems the pattern is when I end up in situations in often it's battle that I see where I can't um I can't win, and I'm losing everyone around me. Um, I've seen patterns where I call in a friend,
Mhm.
and often they're gifted friends like you and I. Um, but it's like when they come into the space, they're such a destructive force that they take the lives of innocent and
Mhm.
often myself as well. Like I would lose my life.
Mhm.
Um, and I saw that again this morning in my morning run. I wasn't really thinking about our session, although I had already thought about it uh, earlier. It just that pattern came up, and it was, and the feelings around it are exactly what you describe, like the weight of the world upon my shoulders, and this feeling of responsibility over other people's free will choices and decisions, which is, it's an impossible ask of yourself to feel
Mhm.
responsible, a bit like a parent would of a child. But these are many adults, many adults.
Yeah,
So yeah, I resonate with that.
nice. Yeah, and the message that I got, if it's okay for me to share it with you, it was that it's the archetype of the king is completely different in this lifetime. So
Mm,
how we used to perceive a king would be, you know, the ruler of many, the ruler of lands. You know, kings really did have that power. But in this day and age, kings are different. You know, there's corruption. We don't have to talk about that. But it's like that archetype part of you
mm,
isn't what you have to carry with you now. You know, you are responsible for many, but it's not in the same way. And it's almost like somehow the healing needs to be done of letting go of that burden of
yeah.
holding many, because you're already doing so much and enough, and it's like you've got your family and they're number one, and that's almost like your kingdom, you know.
Mm.
Mhm.
Yeah, I think it's a really powerful lesson. I think it took me quite a long time, especially in my previous career, to learn to become a subservient leader, and that really helped.
Yeah.
Like a bit like parenting, where you guide people, and then they have to leave home and they have to go and make their own mistakes or not, um, and sometimes, I have I felt a lot more comfortable with that more recently. Am I fully over it? I don't know, because um, I feel part of wanting to help this planet is to help empower people and not have to, you know, micro lead or micro manage people. Like they can figure it all out themselves. This planet can't work under one being, and I definitely don't want that being to me. Or even at a smaller scale. Like I do want
Mhm.
to help through empowerment. Um, and I think if you ask me, John, what are you stronger at right now, empowering people or directly leading people, is probably the latter. It's
Mhm.
probably a journey, um, you know, where I could. feel fully comfortable being that
Mhm.
king on the hill, having seen a battle entirely lost,
Mhm.
knowing that actually we'd all just tried our best, and
Yeah.
that everyone had their own choice, both to join the battle and then also um to leave it, or however they chose to act.
Mhm. Yeah, that's a beautiful reflection. And I think it's the imagery of standing in the empty space of the battle in the aftermath, and it's having that moment of reflection to almost take a step back and just accept and just say, okay, this is my life, this is where I'm at. I don't need to be anymore. I don't need to be any less. I just need to be. And I
Mm.
think there'll be a lot of healing in that. And there's so many incredible qualities of having this king archetype in you, and then coming from that corporate background, you're extremely hardworking, which is a wonderful quality to have, but it's also sort of shaking the chains of that and just saying, oh, it's all right, maybe I've already got my kingdom.
Yeah. Yeah, that's wonderful. Thank you. Yeah, it's a lot to reflect on. I keep seeing King Arthur. I keep seeing and up on a hill and looking at a battle that I think in part I always felt could be won. And
Mhm.
I think that's how I feel right now about our battle with our own, regaining our own sovereignty. Every human around the world. Um, hadn't really consciously occurred to me that we could lose.
Mhm.
Um, and I
Yeah.
think that's important, right? It's important to say
Mhm.
that that's okay too. It's okay to, it's what this constant balancing of darkness and light is all about. It's allowing
Mhm.
to win wins and loses, no matter which way you look at it, are always part of that
Yeah.
rebalancing. And even if it doesn't happen in this lifetime, that's okay. It's okay to just help at least one more person. And
Yeah.
and to your points, that's enough.
Yeah. Yeah, that's beautiful. It's
So
so
thank
interesting because I had a conversation this morning as well with another client, and we were talking about AI and the takeover and this idea of, a very futuristic, robot-driven future, and he's all for it. And then,
you.
I'm very conflicted.
Mhm.
But having the conversation allowed me to accept the what ifs.
Yeah,
I think that's scary, especially for us, if you have that king archetype, or we have been given the gift of being a leader, then it's can be scary to actually be like, we might actually lose,
yeah,
or this perception of losing, but remembering what's important of it all is just the integrity, right?
yeah.
That it
That's right.
all just comes back to that integrity. Yeah. Nice. Yeah, it was the image was it could have been King Arthur time. I'm not very good with history, but it was the message that I got was it was like Knights of the Templar
Mhm.
ages. That was the
Yeah,
clear message that I got.
yeah. That definitely
Mm.
makes sense. Thank you.
Mm. Perfect. So, for our session today, I have been drawn to two card decks for you, and I'm just going to pull one card. One
Okay.
of them is going to be a message about this past life healing and this pattern of lack. And then the other one is just going to be a general guidance from your higher self for the moment. So the first one is angel therapy, and then
Yeah.
the other one is the Wildwood Tarot. So they're both really magical decks.
Yeah.
So we're going to go with the past life healing message first. So I'm just going to ask you to close your eyes and just keep that hand on your heart. And just breathing into your heart space. And I'm asking the Wildwood Tarot deck to show a clear message from John's higher self that is an indicator or a signal to do with this past life healing or wounding. It could be guidance or it could be a message in the direction of just asking for one clear card and clear message that may not necessarily resonate in this moment, but it will resonate either now or in the journey ahead of healing and integration. So whenever you feel ready, John, whenever you feel called, I'm just going to ask you to tell me to stop.
Stop, please.
And then pick a number between 1 and 5.
3.
Interesting. So we were just talking about kings and we pulled a queen card. Queen of Vessels, the salmon.
Oh, wow.
Hmm.
That's beautiful.
Yeah. So it's like a waterfall, natural, and it's like leaping, right? Kind of
Yeah.
gives me a leap of faith
Yeah.
message. The water, again, very feminine, right? Going with the flow, allowing ourselves to surrender to the tides of change. I don't know if it's backwards for you. Hopefully, I've got
No, it's perfect.
okay, good. Perfect. I'll send you a photo of that, and I can either read the book now and the description of it and the meaning, or I can send it to you, whatever you would prefer.
Yeah, even just the first, this, if you could read the start of it, that would be
Mhm.
fantastic. Thank you.
Yeah. I always just give people an option because I always like it. I like reading it myself, but most people like having it read to them. So, so Queen of Vessels. These cards are just epic. They're very druidy. Vessels. Queen of Vessels. 112. So, meaning Queen of Vessels or salmon. Sacred in most shamanic systems, the salmon's ability to swim upstream to its birthplace and spawn is one of the most remarkable feats. The journey leaves the salmon exhausted, and most die the attempt. Thus, they represent self-sacrifice. Salmon were said to swim in pools overhung by hazel trees and to eat the nuts of wisdom that fell in the autumn. Deeply caring and kind, the Queen's spirit draws upon great honesty, generosity, and self sacrifice, which she sees in you. She brings joy to the darkest places and addresses the most difficult problems with grace and civility. So, as an aspect or a process, proceeding virtuously, being emotionally mature, captivated by illusion or being impressionable, taking on or beaming out projections. These are all things to just be careful of. And questions, where are you leaving yourself open or unguarded? What is enchanting you? What do you need to devote yourself to? Virtue, kindness, simplicity, and devotion, a caring individual, to cherish, joyfulness, recovery, and security.
That's wonderful.
Mhm. And I'll send you, in the aftercare email, I'll send you photos of the card and the description, and you can
Thank you.
read into it. It's often
And
quite
just before you read, my higher self wanted to like just channel through me. I listened to the message, and it was really funny. My higher self was saying, you know, John, you keep thinking you can control the river. You
mm,
behave like you can control it, and I'm like, do I? And said just because you can jump in it and splash around and make some waves and even cause some ripples,
mhm,
like it does not affect the flow. The flow will just always persist. Um, and then there's just really beautiful reflections, both of my wife and a lot of what you describes her, and then also that part of me, like that feminine aspect of me, um, which I rely on so much in my work, but it feels like in my sessions, but the in between is where I need to keep growing that connectedness, you know, the understanding of you know, being out, like I love the, what was it, the hazel trees and the wisdom.
mhm.
like
Yeah.
receiving that at the same time as knowing that there's like this big mission, like
Hmm.
to leap up. They take this leap of faith.
Hmm.
And I love that it's the birth and death place.
Hmm.
It felt like a lifetime of preparation
Yeah.
for that cycle, which is beautiful. Because often as humans, we just look at it and go, "Well, that's where they go and die." It's like, no,
Yeah.
that's not just what happens.
Yeah, and then I think just that word of sort of self-sacrifice,
Mm,
not in a bad way, but just seeing that of like, yeah, it is beautiful, we are it is self-sacrifice, but that's kind of what we're going to have to do in order to really stay true to our words, and integrity is going to be some form of self-sacrifice because it's
yeah,
going against the grain of what everything that's led up to this point.
yeah, yeah. That's really beautiful. Thank you.
You're welcome. Thank you for those reflections too.
A pleasure.
Okay, so we'll pull an angel card now. So
Right.
again, I just ask you to close down your eyes, hand on heart, and just breathing into your heart. And we're just asking now from your higher self, just a beautiful message of guidance that's gonna resonate and be like a beautiful golden beam straight into your heart, crystal clear guidance, a message that is in service of Jon's highest good at this time. Could be guidance, it could be healing, whatever is most needed for Jon at this time. And whenever you feel ready, you can tell me to stop.
Stop.
Okay. And then you can choose again a number between 1 and 5.
4.
Okay. It's my lucky number. Hmm. That's funny. Crown chakra. Pay attention to your ideas as they are messages for true divine guidance sent in answers to your prayers. And it's this beautiful temple
Oh wow,
that could be like Lemuria or Atlantis. It's giving those beautiful blue. This blue color is coming up for me a lot at the moment.
it's magical.
Yeah, and there's a full moon there. Again, quite feminine imagery with the moon and the water and that real sort of divine softness. And there's actually a moon in the temple as well, if you can see.
Yeah,
Sorry, it keeps going in and out of focus.
that's okay.
There we go.
It's great.
It's a beautiful card. And these ones have just short messages, so I'll read it again for you. I love these cards. Every time I pull them for myself or someone else, it's always a different card.
Mhm.
Always, so it's always a mystery. 51.
And it's quite funny because my next task after this is I'm writing content for my higher self advanced training course. And
Interesting.
it's so funny because my male aspect is like we're going to put it in the calendar, we're going to have like an agenda, and then the female side of me is like we're going to receive. Like this was always the plan, John. The plan was to not have a plan. And the plan
Yeah,
was to just receive it and then, and write it in any way that would be supportive for sharing it with others. Um, and yeah, I know it takes a lot of self-nurturing to get me into position, even when like a lot of space. I've had to have days off before I can get to the space of receiving. Like it's like a big ceremony and like, it's a big moment in my life. And it is. But
exciting.
yeah, I'm also just acknowledging that
Mm,
um, it's not totally natural for me yet. I feel like there's more
yeah.
integration to have on that journey. And this is part of it. I
Mhm.
understand why there's so much importance now for me to write the course. Maybe only very few people will attend it. That's not the point. It's
Yeah.
the lesson is to learn to receive.
Yeah, that whole act of doing and being in that space of opening and receiving.
Yeah.
That's beautiful.
Mhm.
It's going to be a true blessing to the people who
That's right.
actually receive that training as well. So it's very interesting that you shared that because this card says you drew this card because the angels are asking you to trust and follow the ideas you've recently received, as they are the answers you've been seeking for your current situation. You already know the truth and the best course of action to take. Trust this knowingness and take appropriate action. When you honor your ideas, the universe reciprocates by sending you additional support while you make healthy life changes. This card is also a message to clear the crown chakra, which governs your ability to tap into the universe's collective wisdom. If you dismiss your inner thoughts as wishful thinking or common knowledge, your connection to source can become blocked. Remember that all ingenious ideas begin as a daydream that turn into wonderful inventions. Archangel Uriel is the angel of divine wisdom and knowledge. So we can sit quietly and say now, Archangel Uriel, we call upon you now to clear and balance our crown chakras. We ask for your assistance in boosting our beliefs and faith in the ideas that come to us. Help us in responsibly following through with our divinely guided ideas. Thank you.
Thank you. I just, as soon as you said Archangel Uriel, it's like this big rush of energy. And I just felt him come forward. It's like, yeah, I know, John, you usually work with me for, you know, gatekeeping and boundaries and protection. It's like, it's not just that, right? What do you think I'm protecting? It's like, oh, thank you so much. Um, and yeah, I felt, I don't know if it was visible during the safe space setup, but each time you said to release anything that doesn't serve your highest good, I jolted a couple of times. Um, and it was each time within my bubble and then also collectively. And it felt like there was just, how to describe it, like a lot of interest in me. And it felt like there was a lot of things trying to start to get into my auric field. And
Yeah.
that was this kind of jolting energy, just like, oh, there you are. Like, you're not allowed in here. Like, how you get?
Shoo.
That's right. Yeah.
Nice. I
That's
think, yeah, that was a pretty straight to the point message, a beautifully guided message, and so in tune with exactly what you shared with me.
yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah. Thank you. And so I think that part about common knowledge is fascinating too. As humans, we're always doing that, right? And I do it. I'm always like, so here's a truth, and then there's another truth, there's another truth, another truth. And then when I try and teach something, and I'm like, oh, it's based on all these truths, and they're like, what are all those things?
Yeah.
Okay, I'll need to think about that and teach those too. Um, and then not dismiss things, right? Because like, oh, everyone else knows how to do it, and I think that's really important. I'm not always, or should I say, watching my words. I am always learning to value my superpowers more and not be so dismissive,
Yeah.
but somehow assume that everyone has exactly the same superpowers as me, and then and then get confused why people don't understand what it
Hmm.
is that I'm teaching or sharing or explaining. Um, yeah, thank you. That's really beautiful.
That's a nice reflection. It's an interesting part of, I call it like the ego's journey, because I used to get really frustrated when people used to really simplify things,
Yeah.
and now I love it. Yes, it's beautiful. Treat me like a beginner, but
Yeah.
it does take like, it's just this sort of ego journey, isn't it? And especially, if you've had these lifetimes as a king, it's like, the king knows everything, the king knows best, and we can really hold on to that power. But yeah, I think it's the feminine softness and more of the queen energy is like, well, we have to treat everyone as equals.
Mhm.
Mm,
Yeah.
yeah.
And sometimes I do have some wounding came up as well, which was, from my deepest, darkest shadow work in the summer of 2023, where just before that, I did create I recently took it down actually, but it was the seven chakra training course. It was 7 hours of videos that were purely channeled practices and exercises.
Wow.
And whilst it sounds appealing, they were quite ungrounded. And I
Mm.
felt exhausted after them. And then they had no real explanation. They were they required a lot of advanced experience for the participant. And it I think what it did do is it gave me the experience of what I don't like creating, which is more valuable than anything. But it does bring back to me some of the hesitation I have about my advanced training course because here I am again, like, okay, John, you think you're healed now, prove it. I was like, okay, yes, I will channel and type and channel and type. Um, I can do that. But yeah, it's definitely, these are all really key parts of my journey. And at this moment, like today, it's perfect timing. Thank you, Chloe.
Nice. Well, thank you as well, because I feel like this is a part of the healing is pouring more devotion into you.
Mhm.
Right? So
Yeah,
even just taking this time out today, that's one step in that journey of putting the time into self-care rather than time into creating more, doing more, you know.
absolutely. Thank you.
Perfect. So if you're ready, in a moment we're going to go on a journey. We'll see where we're going to journey to. Do you feel ready? You want to do that? Travel to a
Yeah.
past life or a place? Okay.
Yes. Okay. Thank you. Excited.
Cool. Yeah, me too. Perfect. So we've already set up our safe space, but we're just going to take a moment to connect in now. And I want us both to just really feel the soles of our feet on the ground. They may not be on the earth in our little offices, but even just feeling that connection through the soles of our feet to really ground us in, keep us grounded, keep us safe. Having this physical connection, even though we're going on this energetic journey. And I'm going to ask in a moment one of each of our guides to step forwards with the intention that the guides that step forwards are going to help and support us in traveling to a past life of John's, a past or parallel version of him that may be having a rippling pattern that's coming into this lifetime and affecting him in this moment that's the most relevant and the most prevalent, so that we can travel there and help to heal or clear this version of John. So I'm just going to ask our guides to step forwards now. My guide, Rubia, has stepped forward to assist. I can feel a lot of heart energy. It's a lot of energy around. I'm just making sure that your guide has stepped forward and with you. I'm just going to ask you if you know which guide has chosen to travel with us on this journey.
Yeah, there's quite a lot of discussion between Maya and Emenchal, who Maya's my earth elemental and Emenchal Lyran. It seems like Emenchal Lyran wants to take the lead.
Perfect.
There
So,
was also a lot of Kali energy as your guide step forwards, and I was like, oh, I remember you. We've done work together. I remember what happened last time. But it was really like just acknowledging that energy, um, and just and that it feels good. That it feels very very positive.
I seem to have some fierce goddesses watching my back at the moment, helping me through this transition in life. Perfect. So just thanking Em and Charles, thank you for being with us and thank you for assisting myself and John. And then thanking Rubia, my guide. I'm going to ask Archangel Michael to come with us on this journey today so that he can just ensure our protection as we travel, assist us in receiving crystal clear messages and guidance that is necessary for John's highest good, for his healing, integration. So I'm going to create a portal. So I'm just using my energetic magic wand. And I'm just going to create this portal. I'm just going round and setting the intention for this portal that it will open us up to safely travel to a past or parallel lifetime and version of John that is necessary for his healing in this moment. So I've created the portal now. And when we're ready, I'm just going to ask all of us to step through the portal. So you may want to hold hands with your guide. Archangel Michael is just with us, making sure that we all step through into the portal. Myself, Rubia, John, Imchal, Archangel Michael. Stepping inside the portal and allowing us to travel now. I'm really feeling this like descending motion. Feeling us travel. I can see us holding hands in a circle as we travel through this portal, travel through space and time. I'm feeling a bit more grounded now. So just checking in, John, how do you feel? Do you feel like your energy has landed?
Yeah, I've
Okay,
landed. Yeah.
perfect. So just feeling feet on the planet. And I'm just going to put an energetic lock on the portal so that no other beings, energies, or entities can pass through the portal. And I can unlock this before we leave again. So I'm just going to create this energetic lock, sealing off the energy for safety. And just locking here. And just taking a moment to get my bearings, have a look around and see if I recognize this planet. I've noticed that my temperature has dropped quite significantly. It's like my feet have gone cold here. I can see almost a pink horizon line. At the moment where we are in this planet, the energy feels quite still. But perhaps when we travel to where this past or parallel version of you that will change? What are you experiencing, Jon?
It's fascinating. Um, I'm not to say, and I can tell you after we've left, I'm not to tell you where, but the landscapes have alternated between desert and then water, like a water that's flooded a desert, and then there was also underwater
Mm.
and not being in human form. And as you spoke about the pink horizon, my guide Eminchal is saying Jon, you are not consciously yet aware of this place,
Mm.
and that Chloe must, no matter how little or how much you see of it, that you must lead my consciousness and for me to perceive it.
Mm. Yeah, that's what it feels like. It feels like a kind of an unknown space.
Mhm.
It feels almost like a landscape that I haven't seen or experienced before. So it's like quite a mystical, mystical journey that we're on. I am feeling the presence of quite a strong, I want to say solar energy, like a sun, but I don't know if it's our sun, but there is this strong energy force here. So I'm going to ask now for Eminchal, please can you safely guide us to where this past or parallel, different dimensional version of Jon is? Please can you just take us there? Just we'll hold hands together and Archangel Michael will join us. Please can you take us there? Thank you. I can see myself now. I'm just kind of sitting in a chair as an observer, and you are by my side, and our guides are just behind us watching over, and we're viewing this version of you. And I'm seeing you. I don't know if it's a human version of you, but I'm being represented this version of you as like a childlike energy or spirit. And I can see you playing here. It's like this big body of water, and you're playing here. But for some reason, there's a lot of sadness and heaviness in your heart. I'm just holding the space. It's almost like a weight, a weight on the heart. This seemingly free, childlike spirit, there's just so much sadness. I'm getting the words loss.
They they all they all died, Chloe. I died too. We lost this planet.
Mm.
We
Yeah.
lost every living thing.
I'm just holding space for the grief and the sadness here. and it once was a flourishing planet of water. I'm just really, really getting this message of water and the importance of water, the healing powers of water that was a part of this planet. And the spirit of you, Jon, is still here because the sadness and the grief has never been truly, truly felt and
I
healed
didn't
and
I
released.
didn't want I didn't want John to know. I
Mm,
didn't want him to know that he lost
mm.
and that he blamed himself. This planet was going through an ascension, just as Earth is. And no matter what John tried, no matter how much he tried to help others, what he later found after the destruction of the planet, that this was inevitable, that successful and failed ascensions are simply ascensions. There is no right or wrong, success or fail, just they are.
And in the weaving of life, of existence, of the universe, each ascension, each lifetime, each memory is but a thread in the fabric and the canvas. It's but a thread, but a thread. We are going to experience the most incredible lifetimes. And we also, in order to be able to experience such love and such healing in our hearts, we have to be able to hold this pain and this grief and experience the loss and actually be able to fully accept that and live with that. Jon,
Maya Maya Taktra is the name of the sun.
uh,
It was the sun's activity that destroyed life on the planet.
thank you for sharing that because it felt like a really strong energy. That's why I said solar energy, because it didn't feel like our sun. It felt really strong and overpowering.
Overpowered their hearts, our hearts.
Jon, if you feel comfortable and safe to, I'd just love to invite you to go and give this version of you a hug. And I can, however you see them, but I see them as like it's like a, a trapped soul of a child, but it's you can still see the spirit. And I just want you to see if you can pick this version of you up in your arms and hold them and press them tightly into your heart. And take some deep breaths.
All I ever tried to do was protect you and to feed you this love from this life. And I couldn't let you go because I knew you were alone, left on that planet alone. And it's a void I cannot fill. And it's a soul, a part of my soul I cannot hold on to any longer. I need to
Mm.
let you have your free will, let you go, to release you, to thank you, and to love you.
Mm. Thank you, Jon. Thank you for those words and for your vulnerability. I can, you're making me cry too. There's so much. heart healing that I think even just the remembering of this planet is going to ripple through both of us. And let's just take a moment here. And I really want you to have a moment of forgiveness and acceptance for this version of you who did absolutely everything that you could, but it did not end the way you intended to. Love and forgiveness, and even gratitude. Can you send a beam of gratitude from your heart into this now freed version of you and just say thank you? Without you, I wouldn't be this incredibly strong person and version of me that I am now in this lifetime. Thank you.
Thank you for your strength and wisdom. Thank you for all of your self sacrifice. Thank you for all the souls that you helped, even though they lost their lives. Thank you for calling me through Chloe back to this life, beyond my consciousness, back to a place that needed the deepest healing. Thank you for waiting for me for what seemed like an eternity, for me to be ready to come back and to love you once more. And I'm back here to heal, to protect, to love and integrate, and to let you go, to release you back to the sun, back to source, wherever you choose, back to me, whatever you feel is right. I love you. Thank you. Forgive you. I'm sorry.
Mm. Thank you so much, John. And as you were saying those words, all I could see was streams of angelic light, like raining down onto this planet. So much healing, and you are so protected. And just know that your tears are sacred and holy. And there is something about the water of this planet is sacred, and that is within you. It's within the waters of your DNA. You'll carry the wisdom and the magic of this lifetime and of this planet with you forever.
Yes, one day this planet was destroyed physically, and as a miracle as it sounds, the comets, the asteroids, the fragments of it, its water made its way to Earth. These are much of the same waters. The dropping down sensation you felt as we landed was remembrance back through my previous lives in Egypt and Lemuria. And I thought I was ready. I thought I was ready each time to start this battle once more.
Mm,
And I wasn't quite ready yet, not till now. Not until this healing could be faced
mm,
to truly be able to help Earth as much as I was able to help this planet during its lifespan. And just as the salmon returned to the pool for death and rebirth, so did the water of this planet return to Earth.
mm.
for Earth's birth and ascension.
Thank you so much for sharing that with me. So beautiful, and even weaving in the cards that you were gifted about the waters. And now it's finally you've received this healing through your own tears. That wisdom literally flowing through you like water, that divine feminine energy passing through you. Is there anything else that you feel that you would like to do here, or do you feel ready to slowly make our way back?
There is one last being to let go, and it is the soul of this planet. She held on just for me,
Mm.
and I'd like to let her go also, so that her body, when it's ready for its destruction and recycling, can do
Mm.
so freely.
I
I'd
can
ask.
see that white light and that white space again now. Ah, so much density has been lifted. Thank you.
Thank you.
Taking a moment, just allowing you to release the planet as well, and whew, not rushing away from this deep healing. Then you just let me know when you feel ready for us to begin our journey back.
I'm ready. Thank you, Chloe.
Okay. So I'm just going to make sure that we're all holding hands, all four of us, and Archangel Michael the Fifth watching over us, and just asking for our guides just to bring us back to the portal now. Wow, it's literally like we're traveling through just clear crystalline light. It's really beautiful.
It's beautiful.
So we're back at the portal now. I'm just going to safely unlock the portal, removing the lock. I'm just making sure that it's open fully so that we can all step through. Just asking us to hold hands again, making sure that myself and Jon are here, Emanchal, Rubia, Archangel Michael, all stepping through the portal together so that we can travel safely back into this lifetime, into this moment, and the current, present, conscious versions, human versions of ourselves. That was a quick ascension compared to going down. So I'm just going to close off the portal. I'm just going to bring my hands around it now, just making sure that we are all outside the portal. Archangel Michael, myself, Jon, Emanchal, Rubia, all outside of the portal in this current timeline. I'm just bringing the portal inside my hands and just putting a golden bubble of light around it, and then bringing it down to size so that it fits between the palm of my hands, and just with it taking also encapsulated into this golden bubble any energy attachments or any cords or any entities or densities that are not in service of our highest good, that they may be released with this portal and in this golden bubble. And I'm just going to ask Archangel Michael, please can you return the portal and the bubble safely to source, or never return here again. Thank you. And Jon, with your permission, I would like to just do a little bit of healing on your heart, if that's okay, before we fully come back into the space.
Yes, please.
Okay, perfect. So I'm just going to draw down a waterfall of golden light from source, calling upon the highest vibrational frequencies. Divine loving light, may you flow down with ease and with grace. And I'm just holding them above the crown of your head with the intention that when I infuse this source light into Jon's heart, that it may mend these wounds that have been opened for this huge release and healing, help to mend them with softness and with kindness. And also just to create a beautiful energetic boundary around Jon's heart so that he can always give out this incredible amount of love to others, but also back to himself, but with these sovereign boundaries that are of service of his highest good. So drawing down this column of golden light, healing and clearing as we bring this energy, this unconditional love, these divine frequencies into your heart. And I'm feeling that heaviness on the shoulders, you know, like carrying the weight of the world on the shoulders. So I'm asking that this golden source light can fuse in with Jon and just remind him that it's okay to let go. It's okay to let go. We are all here, of course, for the ascension of humanity, but we are not doing it alone. We are doing it together. And from this weight and these heavy burdens that you've been carrying upon your shoulders, now all I can see is these beautiful angel wings growing out, letting your heart shine, giving you the space and the freedom to just be and know that that is enough. And I just want to thank you, thank your guide, Emin Charles, and Archangel Michael and my guide, Rubia, for assisting us with this healing. And please take your time, Jon, but whenever you're ready, you can start coming back into the space. It can feel quite nice just to give your legs a squeeze, come back into the physical. Give your arms a squeeze. Welcoming you back.
Wow. Wow. It was incredible, Chloe. Um, yeah, just so powerful. How it feels now is like my that burden is lifted. I saw these like it's like dust, just like this heavy dust, and it felt like the dust of that planet. Um, Mia Mia Tatra, and and then in my heart, just like that hole, is gone. And then in my solar plexus, I was like, when I'm touching like my stomach, it's just like this fullness, like I, I felt that something I just keep pouring into is this void. I used to keep pouring into was this void that can never be filled,
Yeah.
um, and that I can never. I used to really struggle to just let go and say, okay, it's okay, John. You've done enough, or just you've done enough today, or you've done enough in this moment.
Yeah.
Um, and yeah, that was so incredibly powerful. There was some big lessons in there as well for me. Like I I felt I was struggling to know where I was as we traveled, but it was
Yeah.
like I was taken back through multiple places.
Mhm.
And Evan Shell said to me, he showed me that I came from Lyra to ancient Egypt. And basically each time, and then I started seeing these other all the other lifetimes in between. And I was thinking, I wasn't ready in any of those lifetimes for facing that trauma. And each time Emin Shah was saying, well, you've got all these gifts, just try your best and do what you can. Um, and I realized that a lot of my past life memories of being a seer, being, often like kind of indexing or focusing on one superpower, were often just like the remnants of that. There was still kind of baked in that trauma of not being able to save a planet, and most importantly, not being able to let go and say, I did everything I could. And that
Yeah.
actually it was important, like it's an important stepping stone. Um, if it hadn't happened, then the water from it never would have made its way to Earth, and Earth wouldn't have existed. And those cycles, those death cycles, are just as important to give birth. And now I see why Callie made an appearance.
Yeah.
Like I knew it was going to be a powerful session, and I was just like, oh, that's it was definitely very powerful. And you were fantastic, Chloe. I just felt held the whole time, even though I could see what you're experiencing was like. It was a lot, right? It's a lot to keep going and hold it together as you're seeing a lot, and feeling a lot.
I've just felt like in that healing, there was no way that I could have held you if I wasn't feeling the weight of it too.
Yeah,
So I think for the whole thing, it was like we have to just surrender to this and
yeah,
let this sadness really be felt too, because that was just a huge message of it. It's like really feeling, and that's a lot of fear, isn't it, with people like of awakening and wanting to ascend and all of this stuff. But actually, like the real humanness of it is we need to feel the pain and be ready for that.
that's right. Yeah, that's right. Um, yeah, I loved the part where was it my guide Evan Shell? I can't remember, was saying Chloe has to show you where this is. Like
Yeah.
you won't do it. You won't do it yourself, John. You're too scared. I'm like,
Yeah.
oh, am I? That's terrifying. And yet it was really, really beautiful. It it felt like this session could have just got stuck at um Egypt or Lemuria, and that it wouldn't have been wrong. It wouldn't have been a bad session by any means, but um, the biggest healing was definitely going back to
Yeah.
this planet that no longer exists. And um, and I found it fascinating, especially as you saw a child. I saw what was an old man who'd returned to well, not it wasn't quite human, but humanoid. Um, and had returned to like a childlike state. But
Uh,
in many respects, I mean, you see that in me now as well, like the forever a child. But at the same time, this was a soul that had died, and it confused me a little bit. I was like, "Are you a soul fragment?" It's like doesn't Evan Shell saying, "John, like enough with labels. Like this is just it. It's part of your
yeah.
consciousness. Just be aware. Just be aware of that part of you. It needs to be seen and felt. And it felt just as soon as I just, as you saw me, I just crumbled when I picked up and held the child in me. It's like, oh, oh, so magical, so beautiful. I
It
think
makes
just,
a lot of sense because I was seeing it. It wasn't a child. It was like a spirit, like energy, just that was
yeah,
sort of dancing and moving in a childlike way. And I was like,
yeah,
"What is that?" But it had a childlike energy, but it makes sense. You know, it was the spirit of a version of you that had actually passed, and it was
yeah,
just stuck there in its childlike essence.
that's right. Yeah. Um, yeah, and I think it's a real testament to to your ability because it's a lot doing it for me anyway after being teaching a lot of stuff and you know a lot of this yourself already, but it's like to do that and then to do something that's really very unusual.
Mm,
I mean, they're all unusual these sessions, right? But something very powerful and beyond my awareness was really beautiful, and it it was a it seemed to be a key message for me as well when I'm doing client sessions. I always wondered why like on social media, it's so much easier to just get the client to talk themselves. But if they're not quite ready to assimilate it or they need help to see it, like I wouldn't, I just would not until you said that pink sky, like I wasn't there. I
yeah,
wasn't quite ready. And when you, and I remember looking at it and I was looking at it, it's like, is this Earth? It's like, it's John, it's not Earth. Like, this is not Earth.
yeah.
We ended up on, it's like, oh, hey, you're right. um, and that really helped me see how I help others without um it's almost like without coercing people, you're able to lead them to a place within them that they wouldn't have found it so easy to do themselves. Maybe you could one day, maybe I would have found this healing one day, but it could have taken a long time and maybe not in this lifetime. Clearly I've been at it for several lifetimes.
Thank you for that reflection. And I think it's, one of the messages that came through, channeled through me was that, like, you're not alone, John.
Yeah,
We're in this together. And it's, yeah, we have been given these gifts and abilities that we're remembering from past lifetimes, but we can't do everything ourselves. We got to go to others and ask for help and rely on the hands of the community. I think that was a real message that came through. And then, I feel the same way as you. There's nothing more powerful than someone else guiding me through a journey. I
yeah,
think it's really beautiful because it takes a certain level of trust and surrender with us to
yeah,
actually give our power into someone, not completely because we're still conscious, but I think there's that beautiful energetic give and take as well, rather than being like, I've got the powers, I can do it all on my own.
yeah. I am fiercely uh, independent, and so, yeah, sometimes that's just um, it's missing out, right? It's missing out on the opportunity to work with others, to be healed by others, um, and you know, you and other class members in the intermediate training were a big part of that. Even you just asking, could we do practice sessions? That's like people practicing together, doing this work together, so powerful. It means that more people can do it more easily and won't just be, if you hadn't spotted, sometimes I teach people a bit like myself, where it'd be like, now go and be independent. You know, it's like,
Yeah.
actually, that's maybe they want to, or maybe they don't want to, John. Maybe they do want to become, you know, part of a community. And that's, I keep seeing our world becoming communities and tribes, not,
Yeah.
you know, not isolated and just a bunch of individuals trying their very best for each other.
Yeah.
There's definitely magic in coming together.
But yeah, I love that you said that because when I see the vision of the future that, is actually going to save humanity, it is in tribes. It's like that idea of creating the family, you know, who we want rather than being born into the family. You know, it's like actually creating the people
Yeah.
who we have around us, the healers, the farmers, you know, actually inviting in that and just being like, I can't do it all myself. I
Yeah.
need other people.
Yeah.
And I think even just saying that out loud is really hard to accept, isn't it? Because of where we've come to in Western society. It's like, I can't do it all myself. Oh my goodness. You
Yeah.
know?
Can't do it all myself. I need others. I need others.
Yeah.
Um, yeah, and such a, especially the first few years of my awakening, I know it's similar themes for others where you just feel so alone because you're pulling yourself out of an old world, and it
Mhm.
it has to be lonely at points, but it doesn't have to be lonely all the time. It doesn't have to be in isolation or all by yourself.
Yeah. And I feel like for us, I don't, well, I can only speak for myself, sorry. I feel I have the responsibility to help those people who are now going through an awakening, which might seem even more scary because the world is coming into more and more conflict as we ascend, to create that space for them to be like, it's okay.
Yeah.
There's more of a cry for community than ever. Mm.
Yeah. You do speak for both of us. Thank you.
Sometimes I have to catch myself then because it's like I feel like I am connected, like soul connected to you, so I can speak for you, but I also don't want to in my humanness.
Oh,
Oh,
likewise. But no, it was really, really beautiful session, and just a massive thank you to you, Chloe. It is so touching, and so is it is poetic the right word? Where you know you're reflecting back to me, not everything, but you know, things that I've taught you, and then to be on the receiving end of it is just so infinitely powerful for me. It's yes, I've had healings from others, but I've never been taken to a place outside of my conscious awareness to where I needed to do such deep healing. So thank you for this incredible gift.
oh, thank you too. Thank you for your belief in me has been the biggest teacher and the biggest blessing that I could receive. You know, on top of all the teachings, but the most beautiful part of it is your belief in me. So I really want you to just feel that and how grateful I am for you because your like undeniable belief in me has really helped me to flourish. And believe in myself and do this from a safe and sovereign place. And I've realized that it's taken me this long to be really ready to hold spaces like this. So thank you, Jon.
Well done. Thank you.
And something that was during the healing when we were in the past life, a practice for you. This is called it's actually an embodied yoga practice,
Okay.
and it's just called the self-care pose.
Mhm.
And I would love you, if you can, if you have the time and the space, and if it feels good to practice this for at least like 2 minutes a day for
Mhm.
the next week, just as you integrate. Super simple. You can do it standing or sitting. You put one hand on the shoulder, the other hand on the ribs underneath. So it's like you're hugging your heart. And then the hand that's on the shoulder, you just tilt your head slightly in that direction and you just close your eyes. And that's it. And you just hold yourself in stillness and in silence and just see how it feels. It's just like giving yourself these moments of love, of nurturing, of care, and of kindness. Some days it could get emotional, some days it might just feel really good. So just allow yourself
I
to,
don't let go.
no, some days you'd be like, I can stay here for like 2 hours, and
Oh
that's
wow,
great too.
that's lovely. Thank you.
You're welcome. And you can try, you know, it doesn't have to be one hand on the shoulder, one hand on the ribs.
Mhm.
You can switch it and see if there's a difference in either side as well. But
Yeah,
that's a really simple practice that you can take away with you. And I think it's coming back again to this simplicity, you know, of not having to do something, some grand thing. It's just actually just holding yourself, you know,
yeah.
just being like,
No.
that nurturer.
That's perfect. Thank you.
You're welcome. So I will send you a summary, the best I can. And anything, I like to leave 24 hours just to see if any other messages that come through that's going to help you to integrate and move forward. So you'll hear from me within the next 24 hours. And I'll send you a photo of the cards, of the messages, and a recording of the session. And you can always contact me anytime. You know that.
Yes. Thank you.
And do you have any questions or anything else that you want to share before I close off the session?
Um, just to say a massive thank you to Chloe. You really touched my soul and have helped Jon and his family and everyone else Jon helps in this life so remarkably. And I do feel that lift of that burden, my angel wings fully spread, and my heart, like it's never felt quite like this before. And my solar plexus, um, like that hole has been filled. So thank you from the bottom of my soul.
Thank you.
Appreciate you.
It's been an honor and a pleasure. And of course, you already know how to look after yourself, but drink plenty of water. Get out into nature. Listen to that guidance that's telling you, to maybe shift some things out of the schedule and just be open to receive now. You're going to be
Yeah,
super receptive after this healing, so some magic can come through.
fabulous.
Perfect. So I'll just safely close down the space. So I'm just going to ask all of our guides to step outside of the session bubble. All versions and frequencies of both myself and Jon, please step outside of the session now. Archangel Michael, Archangel Raphael, please step outside. Any ancestors who are with us, Source and Gaia, any other gods or goddesses? There seem to be a few passing through in the session who I work with, just asking everyone to step out from the session now. And I'm just going to bring our session bubble down to size, to a golden bubble the size of my hands. In a moment, I'll be releasing it and releasing with it any energy or cord attachments or any entities that no longer serve us and aren't in service of our highest good, asking that they be released with this golden bubble of the session. Archangel Michael, please return to source or never return here again. Thank you. We've still got our individual bubbles around us. And I just really want to take this moment of deep, deep, deep gratitude and appreciation for all of our guides who are here guiding us today, both of our higher selves. Archangel Michael for keeping us safe. Archangel Raphael for assisting me in that big healing of Jon's heart today. Huge gratitude and appreciation for Source, and of course, our great mother, Mother Earth. And I just ask now that all beings who watch over and guide and protect Jon, please may his integration be beautiful, blissful, and one of ease and grace and in service of his highest good and the highest good of all. Thank you.
Thank you so much.
Thank you, Jon. Have a beautiful day. It was just an absolute honor to share this session with you.
Oh,
So
likewise. Thank you. Yeah, and please do share publicly. It'd be lovely to share these very profound and powerful experiences and your amazing work.
thank you. I appreciate that because you're willing to share your vulnerability. So thank you. Me
Nothing like
too.
me
I
crying at
was
work.
crying my eyes out as well.
Wonderful.
Oh, have a beautiful day. I'm going to go out and enjoy the sunshine now as well.
See you.
Nice. Bye,
Great. Take
Jon.
care. Sending love. Thank you.
Bye.
Bye.